At this time, I'm going to announce something he probably already knows. The recipient for this year, 2011, will be Coach Bucky Waters.
I'm Bucky's son, Mike Waters, and we appreciate the honor that you're going to bestow on him. My mom asked me to do the introductions, but my mom's next to my dad there. And at Dad's table, next to him is Linda Herosian, which is Alan Herosian's better half. And then Betsy and Dave Miller at Dad's table. And then Ronnie Ellis, who he's appointed by Judge Hill as Dad's parole officer. It's a bad joke. That was just a joke. And then over here is my wife Angie, my sister Terry Pizzulli, my daughter Ellie, our son Aaron, and Charlie. Thank you.
Gotcha, baby. Gotcha. Right between the eyes. Gotcha. Dottie, Jackie, you did well. We did well. Right up until the very beginning. Right at the end, thought he was going to be me. See, if you read the program in the past, you'd see that I was recipient many years ago, man. So you're not up to date on things.
My roast notes on you.
Yeah. In fact, that was my next line. I can't see, I let me explain to the people. He thought they were honoring me tonight. And Dottie said he spent over an hour last night getting his speech together to me. So I want you to know that I want to hear that speech. I want to hear it. I want to hear that speech. There's a lot of people wondering where the name Bucky came from many years ago. If your name was Raymond Chevalier, wouldn't you also prefer Bucky? Now all of you know. Can you see Miss Waters now?
Miss Waters, can Chevalier come out and play this afternoon?
He would have gotten in more fights over that name than all the fights he got in, I guarantee you, when he was growing up in that wicked city. When he was growing up in Jersey as a kid, he feared for his life all the time. That's why he laughs when he learned last year that today Camden is #1 in this country for crime, which is a true story. But he got out alive, and in every case, the old Gray Fox gave him an important call to come to North Carolina State University for a great education, and more important, notice the more important, to play basketball. Later, when Big Boobas came upon the scene and realized Buck's ability as a coach was now all set. So he called him to return to state as his assistant coach because he was so cheap for state to get. Later, West Virginia called him to leave the South and come to the mountains to run their show. So he now becomes the youngest head coach in NCAA history, and the salary offered sure made him go. He turned their program around at once and put the Mountaineers up on top. And because of his great success, his demand from other schools did not stop. Eddie Cameron called him and begged him to come coach the Devils in Durham, North Carolina. So he and Dottie and the kids decided to go, and nothing could have been finer. After a few excellent years at Duke, he knew it was time to say, I think it's best I concentrate on my television future, but they would not let him get away. So he became Vance Chancellor at Duke Medical Center and got an honorary doctorate later on one year. But even though I'm one of his very best friends, he will never hear me call him doctor, so let's make that clear. He won over 150 games at West Virginia and Duke and has spent over 40 years with NBC and ESPN. But that's not what makes Raymond Chevalier tick. And I want to take this time to say, it's his love, and I want to take this time to say, it's his love for Dottie, Mike, Terry, Linda, their 3 spouses, and those super 12 grandchildren that keep him going each day. Sure, his work with the Jimmy B Foundation and Durham's own rescue mission and Agape Corner are also so important to him. And that's another reason he strives to give so much of his time to make life so much better for them. But one more thing before I close, which is really Bucky's claim to fame that I need to make clear. Donnie, Bucky, Jackie, and I were not only married on the same day, but also on the very same year, September 1st, 1956. Now we have two ladies that are the wind beneath our wings that have tolerated us every single day. And after 55 years this September, we hope they stick with us, and I can assure you we pray that will happen every day. So, Bucky, I just want to say this, my friend. I'm not through. Judge Richard, I need you to help me. Did you see that? Okay. But it's one thing that I know, and it's a sore spot for me. But you know, the North Carolina Sports Hall of Fame isn't that important, even though I'll never understand why you're not in it. But there's one thing I know, and that is there's only one Hall of Fame that's important. And I know this because I know you well, and I don't have a better friend. That Hall of Fame you're already in. So the thing that I'm just saying tonight, congratulations, and I'm so glad that I nailed you, baby.
Your wife and Dottie, there's a place reserved in heaven for each of you. These two guys for 54 years. Are you kidding me? Wow. Anyway, I'm very pleased, most pleased to have been invited here to talk about my good friend Bucky Waters. And he is certainly has earned this very prestigious award, the Exchange Club. Albert mentioned Bucky's upbringing, and I'll spend a couple seconds on that, in Camden, New Jersey, which is, by the way, the #1 crime city in America, and they are very proud. Bucky and I shared the suite in the medical center for 20 years. Bucky hired me. And I'll never forget the correspondence he received from the Broadway State Prison. It was all the guys he used to hang out with. Hey, Buck, we're #1, we're #1. We're proud. But he did get paroled, thanks to the judge. And so he did come to North Carolina. And his name did create some problems for him, but it also gave him his character and his toughness. I mean, if you walk around with a middle name like Chevalier, you're going to get beat up a lot. And his first claim to fame and why he was so good at sports is because one of the key things they did in Camden, they were the best at stealing hubcaps while the cars were still moving. These guys were good. I'll tell you what. And he was the leader of the pack. So you've heard about obviously his sports attributes. When he was in high school, he was a great player, highly recruited. They actually offered him a scholarship at the New Jersey Institute of Dentistry. But that really wasn't his first choice. And he ended up coming in to NC State, but then he had to pick a major. I mean, they didn't have any issues like, you had to really go to class. So he had two choices. It was nuclear physics or underwater fire prevention. That was a tough choice for Bucky. But he went with the latter, but I only had an undergraduate program, thank God. He got through it, just barely. And that's what his degree is.